everyone, today I want to talk about why Funko Pops are so addicting. I have roughly 40 in my collection. Some are just the standard size, while a few others are some that have rides with them, Luke Skywalker with a speeder, things like that. So there are a few things that I want to touch on today because Funkos are really the main thing I collect other than books, which might be a little obvious if you're looking right behind me at all of these bookshelves that I have. And I think because of the low price point of the Funko Pops, you can get a ton for less than $10 a piece. If you take a look on Amazon or if you walk into a Walmart or Target, you'll typically find them somewhere between $8 and $10, and I've picked some up as low as $5 because they were on clearance. There are some stores that specifically sell only Funkos. When I was living in California, I went to this store called Mad Poppin' in Brea, and it was wall to wall Funko Pops, floor to ceiling, basically, as well. And I found a couple of ones that I had been interested in pretty cheap there because they either had extras, had ordered too many, and they just ended up on clearance. So I was able to pick up Ahsoka Tano from Star Wars and Elliot from Mr. Robot for about $5 a piece. And it's just such a great way to get into collecting as well. This is a big gateway into toy collecting in general. While I haven't personally gone beyond collecting Funko Pops, it's one of those things where you can easily see how buying Funkos could lead to buying various statues of comic book characters, items from Hot Toys and other collectible companies that are really, really great with putting out quality collectibles. One of the other things that I find super interesting and don't participate in myself is the hunt. You have these rare Funkos that people just sort of live to find and add to their collection because when Funko first started, it obviously wasn't as big as it is now. So you have these runs that were much smaller at one point in time, and you also have the fact that you can customize and make your own Funko. So you could literally have a one of one Funko that no one else in the world has, which is pretty cool. And while that might not necessarily be part of the hunt, you have people who maybe can't attend Comic-Con and get the Comic-Con exclusive Funkos, and they will buy them eventually, if someone's selling them on eBay, or if they have a friend who's attending the con, they'll have them pick one up for them. And it really is just this fun thing for people to do. And while I haven't seen it get super competitive or anything like that, it seems like a lot of people just really love collecting these. And I think a lot of that has to do with the number of fandoms that you can find in the Funko collection. And then for the people who are big fans and sort of want these surprises, you can get subscription boxes for Marvel, Star Wars, and DC. There might be some others that I'm not aware of, but those were three that I had personally purchased. So I subscribed to the Marvel box, which is Collector Core, and the Star Wars box, which is called Smuggler's Bounty, and then you have DC's, which is Legion of Collectors. I only picked up one of those boxes, but all of them had quality items in them, and you get things like this shirt that I'm wearing, for instance, along with Funko Pops. So you're getting Pops that are specifically exclusive to those boxes, and you can't get them anywhere else. If you don't order that month's box, you'll have to find it on eBay or something like I mentioned earlier. And it's really just this fun way to get a surprise in the mail. And I would always avoid any spoilers as to what was in the boxes because people will do unboxing videos on YouTube, and those have been pretty popular. You also have much bigger collectors than myself who have YouTube channels dedicated specifically to Funkos, and it's really just this fun little collectible item, not too expensive, although it can get expensive if you do want to play the game of finding the rare ones. The one con I would say that exists with Funko Pops, though, is the fact that they are now mass produced, so sometimes the paint jobs aren't too great. I've had a few where I can tell it looks like, oh, this one was a little rushed, but overall, if you leave them boxed and you're kind of looking at them at a distance, you're not really going to notice. And when I previously had unboxed some of mine and just had them sitting on my desk or on bookshelves, there were one or two that would not stand up correctly and they would constantly fall over. So that kind of led to my decision to leave mine boxed ultimately. And I think if you do choose to unbox them, which also looks great to display them unboxed, you should still keep the boxes. If you have a closet or a storage unit or something, make sure you keep those boxes because when people buy them, if you do ever want to resell yours, most of the time they are going to want the box with them. And the boxes can have some pretty cool packaging where they show you what other Funko Pops are in the collection, and it allows people to be like, oh, okay, maybe I want to go buy these ones too. So, pretty smart marketing on Funko's part because that's definitely gotten my attention a few times. And I was like, oh, okay, this entire run of Star Wars ones, I want a lot of them. So I've ended up buying more than maybe I initially anticipated. But overall, I think Funkos are just this really great, fun little collectible item. And, you can either choose to dive into a ton of different fandoms and just collect as many Funkos as you possibly can, or you can just, have one specific one. Personally, I only have one Mr. Robot one, but I have probably close to 15 or 20 Star Wars ones, and I have a few Stephen King ones. I have a few DC ones, and I have quite a few Marvel ones now too. So it really just depends on what your interests are, but there's a good chance that you'll find one that you like. And while I've tried to curb my addiction, it hasn't worked super well, but I think that's all I really have to say on why I think Funko Pops are so addicting. Before I go, I want to give a quick shout out to Jonathan Lally and Jen Nguyen. Jonathan suggested that I talk about this topic, and Jen helped me figure out some things to talk about that I was missing in my initial notes. So I appreciate both of them for helping me out with this. And you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I will have links in the description for those, and I will also link to my website in case you're interested in checking out any of the podcasts that I work on. But for now, that's all I have, and I'll see you guys next time.